Okay folks, for this screencast I'm going to show you how to make a quick little app with Qt Designer. You can go to the download page and get Qt Designer for Windows, Mac, and Linux. I've written a blog on this, and yeah, there's like a couple things that you need to do for, say, Windows, like creating standalone database application on Windows, and I show you how to get Python, importing NumPy, and there's like a tutorial here for this is for MySQL, but there's like a bunch of things in here. If you just search on this tutorial page for Qt, like here's creating a GUI with Python and Qt Designer, and if you're running Linux, there's like a bunch of different Python Qt blocks. And remember, you can link Qt with C++, but I'm going to show you the Python way. And so basically, I'm assuming that you have Qt Designer on your computer. You also have Python on your computer, and you also have at least Qt4, Qt5. I'm going to show you Qt4. They're pretty similar, but anyway, let's jump right into it. So I opened up Qt Designer, and I'm going to make a main window. And so here's my main window here, and I'm going to make, just to make a simple app, I'm going to make a meters to feet conversion. So I'm going to need a button here that converts, and I'm going to make sure over here I change the number to convert button. I'm going to use that later for the code. I'm just going to copy this and make a button clear to clear the boxes, and again I'm going to rename this clear button up here in the object inspector. I'm going to grab a line edit, and I'm going to call this one the input edit. And again, having the word next to it is really helpful, so when you're looking at like the man pages later on, you can like look up what all the object, because basically you're going to make this in Qt Designer, but then you're going to convert it to a Python module, and then the Python modules have classes and definitions and methods and things like that, and so you need to know what to look up if you're trying to look up like a specific block of code. So I'm going to call this meters, and then copy and paste that, and then call this feet. Okay, I'm going to move this up here. I don't want to spend too much time making this look good, so I'm literally just going to like drop this here, 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 and here, here, and here, and then I'm going to resize the window, and then I'm going to save it. I'm going to put this on the desktop. I'm going to call this main window.ui and hit save. Okay. Alright, I don't want a snapshot. So now that's it for Qt Designer. So I'm going to go to my desktop here, and there is the file mainwindow.ui. So you need a program called PyUIC, which essentially it's a UI converter to Python. And I'm going to use PyUIC4, so it's going to use Qt4 to convert it. And even though I made this in Qt5, it'll still work. So basically, I'm going to take the main UI window and convert it to a Python module. And then at this point, you can use your text editor of choice. Oops, this is a lot of random code here that you don't really care to see. I apologize. So I'm going to open the desktop. Open. Okay, and so I'm just using our standard text editor, and here's the main window.py. So if you don't know how Python works, I suggest you go watch a tutorial on that. But basically, this Python module like imports all of these things, and it makes all of these boxes, and like these are like the sizes of the text boxes and things like that. And if you notice, like here's the convert button, the clear button, and then just like a couple other things or whatever. So in order to call this, you actually need to make another script. And I've actually already done this before this video, and I didn't make the file do too much, just because I didn't want to get too far ahead without, you guys, what am I looking for? Qt, and here's main.py. So what I want to do is just copy all of this and put it over here, Control V, and then I can go ahead and close this one, and then I'm going to save this one as to the desktop, main.py. Alright, so basically what this code does is down here is where the code actually starts, and what it does is it kicks off a Qt application, and so, well, technically it really starts here. So it imports the PyQt4 module, it imports a module called sys, and then from main window, this is main window over here, it imports the class UI main window, and if you notice there's a class here called UI main window, and then there's a setup routine in here, and so we're going to use that later. So basically we kick off a Qt application, we make a main window, and again that's because we called this class here main window, and then we show it, we raise it, and then this is where we quit the program on the exit. So if we just run this, I'm sorry, this is actually the main window class here. I actually made a class up here that's not this one over here. The Qt GUI is here. This is the Q application. Yeah, this is where we do self UI is UI main window. So that's what we're calling from the block over here. Yeah, so let me start over. So we import Qt GUI from PyQt4, and we make an app to start that up, and then main window is a class that I made here, and if you don't know how classes work in Python, I'd recommend looking that up, but there's a init routine, and so when I run this line of code here, I basically run this init routine right here, and what this does is it kicks off the UI main window, which it pulled from this main window.py, that's this class here, and then we run the setup UI. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to connect these slots. And so we have two push buttons. We have a convert button and a clear button. And so what this line of code does, I've never memorized it, but basically it says if the button is clicked, if the convert button is clicked, run this line of code, or this method, self.convert. And if we run the clear button, then run this function here, clear. Close event, if we close the window, it's going to run this, okay? So I'm going to put this over here, and I'm going to put terminal over here. So there are many ways to make Python codes into, what's it called? Into like an executable. So there's like functions like py to exe on Windows. There's also py to app on Linux, or sorry, on Mac. On Linux, you can just make a desktop item. You can Google that if you need to. But basically, if I just run python main.py, it's I'm going to get a GTK error, but that's something else. But basically, I'm going to get my main window here, and if I hit convert, it's going to run this module here, and if I hit clear, it's going to run this clear block here, and then if I close it, it's going to run this block here. Okay, so basically, all we need to do is grab the all of the stuff that we need, and so this is where it's helpful to name everything properly. So here's the name of this thing, self.ui input edit, and so if we go over to our code here and we say, you know, the input var is self, let's say float self.ui dot, what was that called again? I already forgot. Input edit dot text, and then we say print, let's see, meters equals, and then I'm going to put input var. We should be able to run the code now and type in, say, 3.5 and hit convert, and it should, there you go, so it says meters is 3.5. So we were able to successfully grab the meters. Okay, you can do error checking and things like that if you want, but I'm just trying to show you like the simple way to do it. Let's go ahead and get the clear button to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to type in self.ui.input.edit.text equals empty set, and then self.ui. What was the other one called? It was output edit. Output edit.text equals. I think this works. I'm honestly kind of guessing here. Can't assign to function call. Is it set text? If this doesn't work, I'm just gonna Google it. I'm gonna show you where the man pages are to find these. Looks like that actually works. 0.0 clear. Nope. It has no attribute. Okay, let's. I'm actually gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna try just text. Yeah, too many arguments. Okay, so basically if you want to figure out what these do, you want to go over to what this is, and this is a Q line edit. And so what you want to do is go and type in Q line edit. Yeah, there you go, get text. But you want to do, yeah, Python how to. So Stack Overflow has a bunch of things. You can easily get text with this, or the same way set text with the set text method. So yeah, so it's set text with a capital T. But I want to go there. Here's the document. Here's actually like the document here, and you can actually see what the methods are. And so, you know, so this is for C, but properties, display text. Here's text, a Q string. Here's public functions. And so one of these should be set text margins. I think we need to look at Q line edit Python methods. Here you go. This is what I want. So yeah, I just did Riverbank Computing. Yeah, that's right. Now I remember this. So there should be one for text for the line edit, and you can search this, display text, get text, has selected text. There's a million different functions. Set text. So yeah, set text and then the string that you want. So we're going to go back over here, and we're going to say set text with a capital T, and then we're going to run this. We're going to type in 0, and we're going to hit clear, and then there we go. Boom. So we cleared everything. Okay. All right. So then now we can go over to here. So we're going to grab the meters, and then obviously the feet is going to be, honestly, I don't know why I call this input bar. This should just be meters. And then we're going to use the easy conversion. Feet is meters times 3.28. And then print feet equals feet. But then the really big kicker is that we're going to say self.ui.output edit set text string feet. Okay, so very simple algorithm here. I'm going to type in 1 meter, and I should get 3.28 feet. I'm going to clear everything. I'm going to type in, say, 5 meters, hit convert, 16.4. And so all of this down here you don't really have to have for the printing. I mean, really the GUI is what's the most important. But this at least shows you, some of the simple apps that you can make with Python and Qt. So post in the comments if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this video.